organization, education, and celebration. My name is Shakbar. Elders Wisdom Children's Song is a process that includes oral history, poetry, and songwriting. It was created by Larry Long, a songwriter who grew up here in St. Louis Park. Good evening. My name is Walter. While participating in Elders Wisdom Children's Song, we have had the opportunity to learn about 4 special people. Tonight we are excited to honor these 4 members of the Aquila community.
Hello, my name is Lopez. Each of the elders came to school and shared their life story with us. They told us stories and answered our questions. They also shared words of wisdom with us. We used the words of wisdom and what we learned about each elder to write a song about them.
In doing this project, we really stretched our creativity and thinking muscles. After listening to the elders, we analyzed their stories and found themes in what they told us. We used those themes to create the verses of the songs. We used their words of wisdom to create the refrains. We were able to use our talents in many ways, such as creating melodies, writing, and modifying verses, singing and illustrating. Throughout the process, we listened to each other and were open to other perspectives. We worked together in our music, talent development, and 4th grade classes to make this happen. And now we are excited to share it.
Aquila herself and sits on the St. Louis Park City Council. Ms. Muhammad believes finding your voice leads to great things and has been influenced by both leaders and family members to pursue sharing her voice in politics. Ms. Muhammad enjoys listening to Beyonce and likes to travel.
Our second elder is Miss Arya Jones. Miss Arya moved to Minnesota from Indiana. Miss Arya has worked Hurricane Katrina. Miss Arya has worked for St. Louis Park Schools for many years, and each of her 5 children attended SLP. Miss Arya is an advocate for both children and elderly. She currently works for both Kids Place and is a cultural liaison.
But somehow she could be
Mexico to the United States over 20 years ago. He his wife in Minnesota, and they've been married for 17 years. Family is very important to him as they taught him many valuable lessons in life.
Our fourth elder is Miss Susan Cullen. Miss Cullen has traveled the world both by moving with her family and by personal choice. Miss Cullen is a music lover and a nature enthusiast. Miss Cullen does not currently live in St. Louis, but she is connected to the community through her fourth grade niece, Claire. We lovingly refer to it as Great Auntie.
I still love my town. Singles home, and my child. Going through my best advice to you is to share is yourself an education.
Thank you for coming into our classroom to share your life story. We would like to give you these flowers to show our gratitude.
I actually have 11 names as I am named after grandfathers. I am a Somali American from Africa. We came to St. Louis Park when I was in 4th grade. I went to school at Aquila and I graduated from St. Louis Park. It was difficult for me then because there were not many kids who looked like me. My siblings and parents were a safe space for me. At the time, the adults around me, I think they were all growing into a world where it's a lot more inclusive, and we were just trying to figure out how different people would fit into our world. When you're used to one way, it's hard to step away and be like, oh wow, okay, there's a lot more kids that's coming into our school district, we need to do something. I was a quiet student. When I got comfortable, I was able to speak my truth and found my voice. That wasn't always easy. Finding my voice was something I had to learn to do. People would have relied on to show me what to do, how to be an elected official, to show me how to be a council member. I didn't even know what to do because of COVID, because it was so new. My dad came to America ahead of us, so here's the thing, guys. When you're coming to America, somebody has to sponsor you. The American government processes it, and then, it takes like 2 years. So my dad was here 2 years before us, and then he brought us here as an entire family. I actually work at a school right now, an elementary school, kids about your age. I work as an equity specialist. I help advocate for students who look like me. I make sure equity is being practiced in schools. I help people make sure that they understand that difference is okay and is acceptable, not something that we just tolerate. We celebrate different people and different heritages. Words of wisdom, you're your worst critic. You're your harshest unto yourself, so be kinder to yourself. There's words that we say to ourselves that we would never say to anybody else, right? So don't be harsh to yourself, be kind.
Miss Art, thank you for coming into our classroom to share your life story. We would like to give you these flowers to show our gratitude.
My name is Aria Jones. I was born in California. I was raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I was born September 9, 1977. I stayed in California until I turned 11. Then I moved to New Orleans, Louisiana. I have three sisters from my mom, three sisters from my dad, and one sister from my mom. I have 5 children of my own.
I was then raised by my father, who was a lieutenant in the National Guard and served in the Marines, so I'm a military brat. After my mom left my dad and my little brother of where we used to live in New Orleans and brought us further down south to a town called Mansoura, Louisiana. That's where my grandparents on my dad's side was all my cousins, and then I met my other sisters.
I had an aunt that lives across the street from us, and she kind of took me in on the days that I needed a home to be raised a little bit. Answering questions, the ways moms do. Teach you how to cook, teach you how to talk, first crush, things like that.
My 9th year in school, I wrote my autobiography. I remember writing these words. It said, I do not know who I am. I got up and went in the class and I read it. I remember a girl asked me, why did I choose to come to America? I was like, I was born in America. Right then and there, I had to find out who Miss Aria was because I was lost.
I moved in with my friend Erica Barlow and her family. The next year, her parents has me tested for things in my brain, ADHD, dyslexia, and other learning disabilities. They wanted to put me on medication, but I knew I was smart. I got my diploma before I moved to Minnesota. My first job that made me good money, I was a blackjack dealer at a casino.
My 5 kids and I moved to Minnesota on a gray hole bus in the middle of winter. We were able to stay with my sister, but only for 2 weeks. I didn't know anyone. I started working at a nursing home near Peter Hobart. I had 2 jobs, so I volunteered at a school so I could spend quality time with my kids.
I'm thankful for many mentors in my life, Miss Seal, Miss Nielsen, and Mr. Bickham. All believed in me when I wasn't sure my future entailed. Mr. Bickham helped me find a good place to live in, and Miss Shelley saw an educator in me. I hear those vows of me today.
Today I work at Kids Place at Aquila. All of my kids live close, and my students are also my children. When I am not working with kids, I work with elderly folk. I believe that humans are special, and if we take away judgment and fear, we could live in a better world.
Words of wisdom. Life hard, but what I learned is what you make out of it. If you think outside the box, life is a pretty place. It's all about what you make out of your life to make it easy or hard. You can go down the wrong path and your life can be hard, or you can go down the right path and your life will be kind of not easy but kind of fair. I don't think life is easy. I think we were put here to go through things to make ourselves better. So as I got older and chose the right direction to go in my life a little easier.
classroom to share your life story. We would like to give you these flowers to show our gratitude.
My name is Jordan Zacarias. I was born in Michoacan, Mexico. I am the youngest of 5 siblings. When I was young, I only went to school for 3 years. I started working when I was 8 years old. I worked with my dad and brothers to harvest food and then sell it at the market.
I learned math by counting vegetables and money at the market. I wanted a better life. My cousin told me to save my money and I could migrate to the U.S. Bull riding helped me earn enough money.
Then the groups were divided. Some people were going to North Carolina. I myself was going to Florida. I was 16 and working in Carolina. Maybe because I was a minor, I couldn't really work, so I was in charge of cutting tobacco trees, tobacco leaves, and running from police. I would have to do really hard labor, cutting the tobacco leaf, running from one end to another to put it on the tractor. Some people would even pass out because they couldn't handle it.
So I was able to save up enough money to get a plane ticket to go to Florida. There I was able to finally communicate with the people that were waiting for me. But within all that, from leaving my hometown until when I was there, it had been about 22 days.
My brothers and my mother were all thinking that I had died, that I had not survived my journey, because everyone that I had traveled with from my hometown was caught by immigration and sent home, and they went home without me.
After I was able to communicate with my friend so that he could pay off the peyote that was pretty much smuggling me, after that I pretty much traveled with a piece of paper that just had an address on it. After that, the peyotes put me on a bus and I was on my own down to Florida.
My friend told me that his house was close to the airport in Florida, so that when I got to Florida, when I got off, there was people that would actually speak Spanish and understand me. So that's pretty much how I came to the U.S. And I just want you guys, you guys have your books, your notebooks, pencil, your lunch, a good school. Be proud that you're in a country that takes care of all of our kids and all of us.
Life is very different in Mexico. Life is very different here. Sometimes there's no work in Mexico or even enough to eat. There's not enough schools for the kids. There's not really as many good hospitals or doctors, and having to work a lot to get to clinics or schools, and everything is expensive down there. Food and education, medication. Sometimes people pass away because they don't have enough to buy medication. The hardest thing for me is the language barrier.
Words of wisdom. Be obedient. Overall, respect your teachers. They're the ones that are guiding us and teaching us. Your parents bring you to school knowing that you will be in good hands. Without your teachers, you guys would be like me. No education. Take care of your parents as well. Respect your grandparents and your parents.
do was cry because they didn't know what to tell her. To learn how to respect each other and your elders as well. Guiding us, teaching us, helping us know that we are in good hands. Please learn how to respect each other and your elders as well. The ones guiding us, teaching us, helping us know that we are in good hands. Met my wife in Minnesota, been together for 17 years. Working 2 jobs for family and mutual comfort and fear. As the youngest, I had to step up and lead. So I sent for my mother and brother to come live with me. For my family, my children, I keep working and things turn out right. So I can show them and help them to know that they're in good hands. To learn how to respect each other and your elders as well. The ones guiding us, teaching us, helping us know that we are in good hands. Please learn how to respect each other and your elders as well. The ones guiding us, teaching us, helping us know that we are in good hands. Please learn how to respect each other and your elders as well. The ones guiding us, teaching us, helping us know that we are in good hands.
Great Aunt Sue, thank you for coming into our classroom to share your life story. We would like to give you these flowers to show our gratitude.
My name is Sue Common, and I was born on June 24th, 1950, the very middle of the last century, which means I'm now 71 years old. I was born in Tokyo, Japan, because my father was an uncle, so that's where my parents were living when I was born. I grew up on a various army posts. Kids were able to just run from block to block to block. That's what I mainly did, just hang out and get tired running around. In 1962, I moved to Minnesota. I grew up in the 1950s, and I was in the middle of 5 kids. I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters and 2 parents, and I had 2 grandparents who were very, very old. My grandpa, whom I was very close to, I lived with him for a while, twice. He grew up on a farm where people who had been in the Civil War were in his family. Even as an adult, I have lived in many places, and I have been lucky enough to experience many different cultures. I learned a lot about life in all of these places. My favorite place to live so far was Scotland. I was able to communicate with people in the cultures I lived in, but I never became fluent in any languages. I did, however, learn how to break a banana with my hands. Something that people find interesting about me is that I rode my bicycle for 1,800 miles across Europe. The bike cost me under $10 and it was quite the experience. Experiencing differences was fascinating for me. Just because somebody does something differently does not mean they're wrong. I have had various paths in life. At one point, I worked in a monastery and prayed a lot. Later in life, I worked in hospice. This is really when I focus on taking care of people's spirits, including my own. There are a lot of things you can do to take care of people. Just sitting with them is one of the best things we can do. One of the questions the class asked me was, do you have any near-death experiences? experiences. I told them a story about a canoe and an alligator. Both were equally terrifying, but here I am today to talk about it. Ask your child if they recall either story. Today I live in northern Minnesota in a cabin without running water, electricity, or heat. I do have a wood-burning stove, and I figured out a way to live a simple and great life without the things kids say they need these days. I don't necessarily want to live like this, but it works, and so far, I've only seen bears from the window. Words of wisdom. First of all, pay attention to who you are. Do something because it matches who you are in your heart. Big lesson. You have the material world and you have the spirit. Live in both and take care of other people. So don't take care of other people and not take care of yourself. Do both.
of a project that taught us about history, songwriting, collaboration, and so much more. Mr. Zerkias, Miss Mohammed, Miss Arya, and Great Aunt Sue, we are so grateful for all of your willingness to share our stories with us. We learned a lot from you.
Hopefully we will heed your words of wisdom as we grow up. You taught us to let things go and remember that every problem can be fixed. You also taught us that we were fortunate and that we should take care of each other.
Finally, you taught us that we should always find ways to help others. We have some gifts for you, and we have made a book for each of you. The words in the book are the lyrics of your songs.
Quick thank yous. Miss Bauer, Miss Bongartz, Miss Bree, and Miss Julia McBride-Bibby. The fourth grade teachers, Miss Hanson, Mr. Aquila, Mr. Stenross, and Miss Williams. Our musicians. Reverend Anthony Galloway. Miss Mary Harris. Miss Lydia Galloway. Miss Bauer again. And the Larry Long. Also thanks to Miss Tolzien, Miss Graber, Dr. Duffy, and Superintendent Hillside. Oh, and Mr. Vladimir for this music.
Parents, aren't they good, y'all? Aren't they good? Well, this has been a very interesting year for all of us, and so it's a little bit of a family reunion for y'all too. When's the last time you was in a space with all these people in the last couple of years, right? So let's honor that. For our elders, thank you so much. Your stories lit a fire under the kids. We have, and of course, Miss Bauer and Miss Bottling, you have been in the paint, doing the hard work, making sure to pull all these together. So we have these gifts for you. Our fearless leader, founder of Elders Wisdom Children's Song, Larry Long, has a couple of CDs for our elders and for our teachers. And my baby girl who grew up in Elders Wisdom Children's Song, Miss Hudson, I remember being in Miss Hudson's class when she was in her carrier and she was babysitting while I was helping to write the music, so I thank you. Oh yeah, hey Renee Robinson, Miss Robinson, you're doing the same thing. So we have these flowers to you as well, just for Miss Bottling and Miss Bauer, because you need to get your flowers too. Now, this is one of those pieces where I'm stepping into a space because we did not go over this in our dress prep, but students all around the building, can you stand? Students from all of our classes, can you stand? Students on stage, stand. We're going to give a nice gesture to our elders, just to give them a nice ruckus round of applause for spending their time with us. Go ahead. It's your turn to see all these beautiful babies that wrote this music all around you. Let's stand and give a round of applause for all of these kids who have written